Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So I'm gonna bring this up closer, and as you can see, there's a lot of really beautiful things that are going on, and honestly you guys, I could just probably put a few finishing touches on the eyes and maybe just the nose and the lips, and I could call this done. But I'm gonna work on it some more, and I'm gonna do something just a little bit different. I'm gonna add some painter's tape, but I'll get back to that in a minute. So in the last video, I talked about the push and pull. I talked about the cool colors, the warm colors, how the cool colors, generally speaking, go in the parts that are recessed, so the parts you want to push back, and the parts that you want to pull forward into space, generally speaking, you are going to use the warmer, lighter valued colors, and the cools are going to be darker. And then I also talk about how you work from dark to light, and also how you basically paint your larger shapes and then your smaller shapes within the larger shapes. So I just want to show you another portrait that I'm working on, and I know that it looks like really like it looks I don't even know what the word is. Like, it's hard to tell like where the facial features are, etc., etc. But this is a perfect example of me not only putting all the darker shapes first and then, almost like sculpting the lighter shapes out of the dark, but also the larger shapes. So basically this blue here is all one shape. Like, I didn't even lift my paintbrush off the page. So I just kind of, went like so, and then I went like this, and then I came up here, and then, I went back, and then I came all over here. And I didn't, I wasn't really thinking about, where everything is going to go. I was just kind of feeling for where the, the darker shapes were going to be. So this is a very good example of what I mean. And once I work on it and it's done, I will post the pictures on my Instagram and also my YouTube, like where I can post pictures, just so you can see the finished spread. But yeah, so let's just get into this. So basically what I decided to do is use some painter's tape. Now this is tape that you can get like really anywhere, you guys. If you go to a big box store, a Home Depot, even the dollar store, like it's used for when you paint walls, and you can use it for that, or you can use it for your art as well. So basically how it works is it does not tear your paper. So what I'm going to do is the parts that I want to keep, like that I want to save, because there's some really beautiful color fields that I'm really loving, I'm just going to put painter's tape on it, which doesn't mean that, at some point I won't cover it up, but I want to save it, because sometimes I can have a heavy hand and I can kind of, cover things up that I don't mean to cover up. So I really am loving this pink over here. Like, it's just such a beautiful color field. So I'm gonna cover this up like so, and I'm even gonna cover up this part over here for now. And another part that I really am loving are the lips, and that's kind of a lot that I'm covering up, but it's okay. And, I think like this cheek part over there, and like that. And is there anywhere else I want to cover up? I'm thinking maybe that part over there. So I am now going to start working on kind of pulling some of the light parts. Like, I want to pull it out. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use my transparent burnt sienna, and I might use, I think I'm going to mix it with a little bit of chalk paint maybe. just gonna kind of go like so. And I'm just gonna kind of start building up my eyes here. My desk is really quite a mess, you guys. I've just got so many things all over the place. Like I've got my collage and I've got like all these inks that I found. So I need to clean up my desk again, I think. So what I want to do is I don't want to cover up too much of the eye. Like I want to kind of have a light hand. One of the things is, you guys, I do tend to have a bit of a heavy hand with covering stuff up, and it's quite unfortunate because once you cover stuff up, you know, you can't get it back, which is why I covered some of that stuff up with a painter's tape. So basically now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of building up my forms. Like I'm just trying to kind of, you know, see where like the, you know, so I can pull parts out. So say this part over here, that would, be a pull part. So, and see, you can just go right over the painter's tape. And then normally, like if the painter's tape wasn't there, I might cover stuff up. And then later on, I'd be like, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that. So I'm really loving this handmade paper, you guys. I think it's made in India, but it's got like gold spots on it, and I'm just loving the way it interacts with the paints when I put it on. Like a lot of times the gold spots will stay, like they won't be covered up, and it just makes this really cool effect. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of build up the whites of the eye here a little bit. So I'm gonna bring this up closer, you guys, and like I just want you to see the beautiful color fields. Like I hope the camera can pick up on that. But do you see how, you know, when we add a lot of colors, like I did, I know it looked a little bit disjointed, like a mosaic. It looked a little bit garish at times, but honestly, you guys, it builds up really beautiful skin colors, because skin, in order for it to feel alive, like when you paint it, it should have like, you know, this energy, and it should have a lot of different colors. So, yeah, like what I would say is just go to town, and as long as you get your values right, just experiment with the colors. Well, like that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm just experimenting with all these different colors. And I'm gonna add some of this to the eye here. So you guys, I want to bring this up closer so you can look at the whites of the eyes, and if you can see how many different colors are in there, and even values. It's not white. It reads as white, but it is not white. You know, there's no white in there at all, actually, but that's what gives so much depth to your colors, is varying your values, your hues, and just adding like so many different like colors in there, because you know, like I talked about this before, like a color is not like a red sweater is not like just a plain color field of red. It's got a lot of different cool reds and warm reds and light reds and dark reds, and then it's got even other colors in there, like completely different colors. And that's the way it is with every color, depending on the light, etc., etc. And that's what makes your you know, your stuff like it gives it life. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave the painter's tape in here on the page for right now. I'm not ready to take it off just yet. And I'm just going to give like a quick wash of this chalk paint here for the background. Okay, you guys, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series, and I will see you soon. Bye.